do use abstraction a lot, and often we use recording from the environment as the thing that drives the piece. So we've done pieces that involve taking live imagery from buoys that are across the Atlantic and Pacific Ocean, and that becomes the material that drives the piece. And so that's a common through line to here, where we have a constant feed of the actual space outside of MRI that then drives the installation.
Yeah, and not all projects have been site-specific.
Architecture influenced the choice of site, and it is such a nice focal point for putting a piece in this window. The architecture is essentially pointing at it from far away.
What a fantastic space to have a piece featured, but also what a fantastic challenge to try to generate a piece that could stand up to such a grand entrance. And it is, when you think about that open space, I almost feel like you're walking into a ballpark or something, an amphitheater. We didn't want to compete with the images MRI produces because they're on a similar level of quality, and they're all about understanding and conveying really important information. So we decided in the project really to take more of a metaphorical approach.
Having a public space right outside the building that people can hang out. We were just talking to a student earlier today who likes to eat lunch out there, using that as some of the material for the piece.
What is the hub of all of that is really the idea of site specificity and thinking about the space, the location, the building, but mostly the essence of MRI. And maybe that's a lot of weight to put on this one thing, but that's where we're coming, and that's kind of the thrust of the collaborative here.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see. We have a pretty vast community of faculty, students, staff, other university visitors and industry visitors. And they come to Penn State to hear about materials research, and they see the Millennium Science Complex, the building we're in. And first thing they see is this really cool imagery that's part of the building. And it generates a lot of questions and enthusiasm, and it helps us tie together this artistic nature of what materials can be.
Talking with MRI about what they wanted to see in a work, and one of the goals they said is really a lot of the community at large doesn't know what happens inside of here, and when you enter into the space, it doesn't seem like there's anywhere to go. Like you go off to the sides, there are doors and there's an elevator, and a lot of people might not feel like they have permission to enter the building and see what's happening here. And so they said maybe you could generate a work that reflects the dynamism of MRI, but also is welcoming and draws people in. And it was really exciting today that we already had 2 people who came up asking what was going on. They had walked by and seen it, and so we thought that was pretty exciting.
We had a very excited audience here inside the Materials Research Institute, both from the people that were directly involved, but also people that just happen to be walking by, and everyone's inquisitive. And so I think there will be recognition by the students and the staff and the faculty that come into the building that, hey, indeed, those tiles that are snapping into place have an important connection to what it is that we do. It's the same hexagonal structure that we look at in the microscopes, in some cases all day long.
It's been really interesting to see afterwards how people have kind of engaged around the final piece, the imagery and the questions people ask about how the process came together and how we decided on it, and kind of their enthusiasm for the final product has been fun to see.
So the piece of art that we've ended up with is really not only a great representation of art, but also it's a representation of who MRI is.
This is our third trip to the site, and so we feel like part of the family in a way. Like everyone's been so warm and welcoming that the idea that the project is finally up and running is almost a little bit sad. Like it's awesome to see it come together, but like, oh wow, this might be our last time here, and we'll be leaving this living and growing thing. So we hope to see photos as it develops and continues growing. collaborator. I don't want he collaborates with the collaborator.
Yeah, right.
Why am I explaining it?
You guys come in and then.
Hey, Dave! Hey. Guess what? We got encoded objects! Encoded objects! Is that what you wanted?
This is the whole year we've got problems.
Our projection for the installation was supposed to... Why won't they stop? Oh my God.
The banging's not so bad. The thing I don't like is when they use that saw and it goes bzzz.
Yeah,
You know, you get that.
that's true.
Yeah, it sounds like a dentist's office, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
We've got
for
2 minutes.
Your interview. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we have 2 minutes.
Good.
Okay. So.